Kidzuko!
Butterfly in the sky, I can go twice as high. Take a look, it's in a book, a reading rainbow.
Hi, welcome to Reading Rainbow. I'm Michael the librarian, and this place is the library. People tend to be very quiet at a library. That's because some people are trying to read here. But libraries are also a place for talking. One of my favorite rooms in a library is a children's room because it's usually filled with joy and laughter. And the front desk is usually noisy with people checking out books. Some libraries have cafes where you can make a new friend. And that's never a quiet thing. When I make friends, I get loud. So libraries are actually a great place for expressing yourself. Sorry, expressing yourself. So yes, libraries are known for being quiet, but they're also places for speaking out. Come with me, friends. The book we're reading today is about a girl who was brave enough to speak out. She saw something in her classroom that didn't feel right. So she decided to do something about it and make a change. Not only did she make that change, she wrote a book all about it. At 9 years old, Bellen Woodard wrote a story about speaking out and turned it into this book, More Than Peach.
More Than Peach, written by Bellen Woodard, narrated by Gabrielle Union. Rise and shine, sunshine, is my wake-up call. But just for a moment, my eyes cling to last night's dreams, not yet ready to leave them behind. My mornings are filled with smiles and a bump here and there. We rush in the busyness the morning brings. Being with my brothers is sort of like gazing into a mirror. Their faces reflect mine. Shades of the world with the same warm and curious eyes. I sigh when I wave goodbye. My brother's reflections disappear and leave only me. But just one me is more than enough, and I make so much of it. Sometimes we might trip up, but we have friends to catch us. School is a home away from home, and when at home, we learn to grow. Does anyone have the skin color crayon? My friend asks. Some call it the skin color crayon. I've heard it many times before. But this time, when I pass the peach-colored crayon to him, something in me feels different. Can someone pass me the skin-colored crayon? Another friend asks later. The question rings through the room. This question didn't seem to bother my teachers or my friends. Why was I the only one feeling confused? My mom and I celebrate the day. We share lots of stories and giggles. I also tell her about the skin color crayon language. I explain that even though the question puzzles me, I always pass the peach crayon. Well, our skin color is brown. So next time, why not just hand over the brown crayon instead, Mom says. But that doesn't feel right either. I think for a while and the idea hits me. No, Mom. Instead, I'll ask what color they want, I answer, because it could be any number of beautiful colors. And so, the next time that question rings out, I reply, which one? Skin can be any number of beautiful colors. Oh, yeah. I meant the peach color, my friend says. Suddenly, I realized that if this friend could understand, maybe my other friends could too. Again and again, I get asked the same question. Again and again, I reply the same way. Gently, knowingly, trying to change the language. Until I finally hear an echo. My teacher replies just the way I did. Of course, she says. What crayon color would you like? Because skin tones can be any number of beautiful colors. I had been the spark, and now my whole classroom is lit up. It's so important that your space is brilliant, just like you. Soon, the new language rippled through the school. If I can make such a big change here, I can also make it happen at other schools. I put my idea to paper, and my family helps me plan. Growing isn't always easy. Change is a team effort. And the bigger your team, the faster change happens. I lead the way and ask my friends, school, and whole community for help. All around the world, the language is changing. Minds are growing. And we will keep going until the world knows we're more, much more, than Peach. We're each. Together, we can show the world the power of kidhood, one crayon at a time.
And now it's time for a game of What Can You Remember? You got this. What question did Bellen's friend ask her while they were coloring? A, does anyone have the skin-colored crayon? B, did you do anything fun this weekend? C, can you pass the gravy? What do you think? It's A. The friend asked for a skin-colored crayon. Here's our second question. The next time Bellen's friend asked her for the skin-colored crayon, how did she respond? A. No. B. She started doing a funny dance. C. Which one? Skin can be any number of beautiful colors. You can do it! It's C. Bellen asked her friend to name which color they wanted. Last question. Bellen led the way in creating change with the help of A. Her family, friends, and community. B. Her pet howler monkey. C. No one. She does it all on her own. Do you know? It's A. Bellen gets help from her family, her friends, and her whole community. Change is a group effort. Great job!
When Bellen's classmate talked about skin-colored crayons, she felt confused. Why did he ask that? When skin can be any number of beautiful colors. But all it took was Bellen asking one simple question to introduce a better way of talking about crayons. Have you ever been in a situation like Bellen, where something didn't feel fair, or it left you feeling confused? What's something you think should change in the world today? We'll take a look at both those questions with Bellen herself. Bellen Woodard is the main character in the book More Than Peach. She's also its real-life kid author. More Than Peach is a book Bellen wrote about an experience of hers in school when a classmate asked her for a skin-colored crayon. Not only did she turn that experience into a book, she also started a crayon business to make more crayon colors available to kids everywhere. So today, we're gonna see what it's like to be a leader in your community when you're still a kid. Let's visit our new good friend, Bellen Woodard.
Hi, my name is Bellen Woodard, and I am 14 years old, and I'm a dancer, and I love to travel, but aside from all of that, I'm also a business owner and a CEO of my business, Bellen's More Than Peach project. I'm the world's first crayon activist, and since I launched my brand, I now have my first book, More Than Peach, and recently, a month ago, I have my second book, Ballet Brown. When I first made my first book, More Than Peach, and I was advocating for inclusion in crayons, I feel like that itself and changing the language has always been just about how we include every color. So my goal for More Than Peach is to encourage youth leadership and empathy in not only young people, but really in everyone. I wanted More Than Peach to show that we are advocates and that your voice really matters. And so if you use your voice, you never know how many other people you're helping. This is my office. I have a bunch of things people have sent to me over the years. So I have like this little Bellen thing that was made out of my crayons, and that's so cool. Somebody painted that for me. So I keep all of those relics, letters from little kids. These are some of my most recent letters that I've gotten from a beautiful classroom. I just love getting things from the classroom because this whole thing started in the classroom, so these letters mean a lot to me. I started the company back in 2020 when I was in elementary school. I had to juggle things like school and dance and lots of other things. It makes me feel good that I have such a great support system and that I know that I'm not alone in this and that it doesn't have to be overwhelming and that I have people that moderates that and allows me to live my life and all the other things that are important. This is one of my best friends, Elise, and we're both dancers and we're on the same dance team. My dance room is where I encourage myself to be the best version of myself and the best dancer I can be. We're just practicing some of our tricks since it's summertime, and it's very important for us to keep working on it even when we don't have those normal hours of dance. These are my little baby shoes, like my absolute baby shoes. Probably some of my first pairs you could see. It's called pancaking, and you put foundation on your shoe and then it changes the color of the shoe, but it doesn't always work, and I ended up actually ruining some of my point shoes from doing it because it absorbs, and that was because that they didn't have the point shoes in my color, and it's unfortunate. We shouldn't have to make extra trips just so we can get the color that we need.
I feel like it shouldn't be that way and that you should be able to get your shoes and tights at all the local places too.
So the reason why I decided to create the term Ballet Brown was because when ballet first started in Europe, the pink was made to blend with the dancers with the lighter tones because everybody had that tone, and it gave the effect that you're flowing and that there's a line between your arms and your legs. But as other people started joining ballet over the years, not everybody had the light skin tone, and if your legs don't match with your arms, then the line is already broken. And so that's why I decided to not only name my book Ballet Brown, but to also coin the term Ballet Brown to show that Ballet Brown is here and it's just as much as a thing as Ballet Pink, and it's not only just a term, but it's also just a new mindset that we're growing and we have to grow as society grows. As someone who has been dancing since I was 2, I feel like it definitely is a confidence booster because if you feel good in what you're wearing, then that just makes your dancing 10 times better.
Speaking of all your point shoes, I have my point shoe fitting soon.
Okay, let's go. Bye. I'll go get ready. I have an event at the library for Ballet Brown. I'm really nervous. Hey guys, I'm at Ashford Public Library and I have my first book signing / book reading event locally for Ballet Brown, and I'm not very used to it, but I see my name over there and I think that's pretty cool.
Thank you all for coming out to Ashburn Library. You may already know about Bellen. Bellen is an accomplished author of 2 books, an innovator, a CEO.
Thank you. I'm super excited to do this again. Since I've watched the brand, I've gotten to meet so many cool people, and I've got to travel the world and travel to so many cool places and with cool people as well. I've gotten to meet people like Kelly Clarkson, Michelle Obama, Simone Biles, and so many other people. I've gotten to travel the world while meeting kids and people and change the language, and that was exactly what I wanted, for it to not only reach just here, but everywhere.
All right, moving up into the current day, we have this new project.
So Ballet Brown isn't only my new book title, but it's also a new term and a new mindset that I coined.
Now tell me, why is this project so important to you?
The project is important to me because, and this is a message to parents, when you're starting your kids out in ballet, it's important because if you start them out on the right foot and automatically put them in the color that suits them, then from the very beginning, they don't have those questions, well, what's off about me versus the rest of my friends? Why is there a disconnect for me, but my friends, there is no disconnect? And so it eliminates those questions and the uncertainty, and it gives you a confidence boost from the very beginning. it's been a really cool experience. I saw a bunch of new faces, and that was really cool. I also loved seeing people I know, because whenever I do these events, it's always either in another state or another country, so it's really cool to see familiar faces, and yeah, I see the support from my own community. So, yeah, good day. So I'll see you later, and I'll see you soon.
Bellen is a kid in a world of adults, but here I am, an adult, in a chair for kids. I bet Bellen is more comfortable. But at the end of the day, Bellen is still like any member in society and has the ability to make change, just like all of us, including you. You can make your impact felt in your community, just like Bellen did. Remember, Bellen started out small, speaking up in her classroom. Even that still takes courage. So you can start small too, and we're gonna show you how, with an easy way to help make the world a better place. Cool postcards! In the book, More Than Peach, author Bellen Woodard wrote about how she spoke up about a problem and made a real change in her community. That's activism, when you see a problem and you work to change it. Activism can be big, like saving a rainforest. That's really big. But activism can start small too, like sending a postcard to a local leader. Today, we're gonna find something we each care about and take one small step in making the world a better place with homemade postcards. Here we go. I am so excited for today, but before we get started, let's introduce ourselves. My name is Michael, and your name is?
Naya.
Nice to meet you.
Vivian.
Vivian.
Liam.
Davis. Davis. Wonderful, all new library friends. Are we ready for our craft?
Yes.
Awesome. We are going to be making some postcards, and they are all about activism. Do you guys have any idea what activism is?
It's an act of kindness to help the world and protect it.
It is like saving the world. Activism is taking a step and supporting a change for something that you care about. So what we're going to do is we are going to create these postcards keeping in mind, what would you change about the world? What matters to you? Yeah, let's get started. Let's start coloring. Any ideas? What would you guys want to change about the world?
I want world peace.
World peace, beautiful thing to want. What do you envision with world peace?
No one's fighting, no one's crying, no one's hitting each other. Everyone's having a good time.
Nice, man, I love that. Anybody else?
I would want the president to ban the zoo. I believe that animals should be out in the nature. I don't think they should be locked up in cages.
So you would support change for the betterment of animals?
Yeah.
Wow, that's activism. That is a big thing to try to make a change. It takes a lot to get there. You have to be brave. It is a hard thing to do, and that's okay. That's why we're starting small. What are you working on?
Saving the earth.
Saving the earth. I love that. What did you draw on the front? Can I see it? Just save the earth. That's exactly what you said. Straight to the point. That's perfect. Now it's time to talk to an expert. Are you ready to talk to an actual activist?
Yes.
All right, let's talk to our activist. Hi.
Hi, Michael.
What's your name?
Blair Imani.
What do you do?
I make a show on the internet called Smarter in Seconds, where I help people get smarter in seconds about a variety of topics.
Do you have any questions for our activist?
How do you become an activist?
Becoming an activist is actually very easy. Basically what you do is you sit down, or you can stand up, and you try to figure out something that's wrong in the world or something that makes you very passionate. For me, that started with education. And I learned that there were girls in a school in Mali, which is a country in Africa, that couldn't go to school because they didn't have enough money. And so I think I was 8 years old, and I did a bake sale with my friends, and we raised money to help those girls go to school. And boom, I was an activist. Because being an activist basically means taking action.
Wow. Does it matter what you do to be an activist?
It does matter a little bit. Typically, if you're doing activism, you want to do something positive instead of negative. But there are all different types of actions that you can do. Sometimes when we think about activism, we think of protesting and getting in the streets, but that's only one of very, very many ways. You can do other things like write letters to people who are in charge and let them know what you want to say, or give them a phone call. You can also raise money. There's so many people who need help in the world, and when we decide to take action to help them, that's also activism.
Oh, thanks.
Davis, any questions?
How do you turn into a president?
Ooh, So turning into a president actually takes a lot of steps. First, in the United States, you have to have been born in the United States, you have to be 35 years old, and you need a lot of people's support because they have to elect you into office. Typically, if you want to be a president, but this isn't always what happens, what you do is you start at a local office, maybe being in local city council, they might run for governor or mayor, and then they rise through the ranks, and then when they decide they want to run for office, they announce to everyone that they're running for office, and then there's a whole bunch of debates and hoopla, and then people decide, who am I going to vote for? And if enough people vote for you, that helps the president become the president.
Great.
I have a question. How would you inspire young budding activists?
That's a good question, Michael. I think that so many young people already are passionate about different things, and sometimes they might need a pat on the back or permission to do those things. So what I would say is that you don't have to wait to grow up. You can take action right now. There are so many things that we care about in the world, and sometimes what we need to do is have a conversation with our local librarian or a trusted adult in our life to be able to figure out and brainstorm what kind of actions that we can take. So I hope that you know that you probably already know what to do, and it's just a matter of getting the tools and the education and the right books to get there.
Thanks so much. Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Where do we write the person's...
Oh, the name? So it's gonna be, you can either write it above there, or you can just put it over there, whichever you prefer.
Got it. Thank you.
Of course. Find the address of someone who can help. Maybe a principal, a mayor, or a community leader, and write their name and address on the right side of the postcard.
I do not know the president's address.
Write them a short message on the front left side. Tell them what you care about and what you hope they'll do.
I wrote to the president, please ban zoos. If you don't, please replace real animals with robot animals. I want real animals to be free in their habitats.
My postcards are all about equality and peace. My first one says that we should have peace on our earth. The other one says equality on the front. And please let people be completely equal, black and white, together as one on the other side.
So I wrote this to my mom because I really want her to help me. What I wrote to her is don't litter. First of all, it can spread to the wildlife and can cause them to sadly pass away.
What I wrote on my postcard is save the earth, and I also drew the earth. And when I wrote was Barack Obama, can you help me save the earth? If you will, I'll appreciate it.
All right, we are almost done with our postcards. We are activists, but to send out the postcards, we need some stamps. Are you guys ready for a stamp?
Yeah!
Awesome. Here we go.
That's a lot of stamps.
That's a lot of stamps. All right, so there's your stamp.
I need 2.
2 stamps.
Yeah, because I made 2 cool postcards.
2 times the change. We can all do this at home. Anybody can do this project with a responsible grown-up. We're all making change. We're all capable. We did it. We created our postcards. We're activists. Would you please give me your postcards so I can make sure they get mailed off to the right people? Thank you very much. Thank you. Beautiful. Wonderful. Thank you.
I'm gonna keep this last one because I haven't finished it.
Awesome. Thank you. Maybe you'll get a responsible grown-up to help you instead of me?
Yeah.
Yeah? Awesome. Okay.
But if I ever find you walking around and I still have this postcard, it's being sent to you.
Then I can help you out. Okay. We're gonna get these postcards mailed off. Thank you so much for joining us. You did a wonderful job. I dropped those beautiful works of postcard art in the mail, and hopefully we'll change some minds and change the world. You know, sending a postcard can just be one step in a whole journey of activism. Have a conversation with a friend. Talk at a local meeting. Remember when Bellen spoke to people at her book signing? People want to hear what kids think of the world. For more info about getting active in your community, your grown-up can find out more online. I have a feeling you are all going to be just the change makers we've been waiting for. I'm still amazed that this book was written by a kid, but it turns out there are quite a few kid authors out there. So our friends at West Orange Public Library picked a few more books for you, all written by kids just like you. You gotta hear it from them.
I have a book to recommend for you, and it is called I Am Odd, I Am New. The book is about a kid who is 10 years old who is in 5th grade who has autism.
He was different than everybody else.
It makes me feel like it's okay to be different from other people.
Different is good because everybody else is different too.
Because if we were all the same, life would be so boring.
Take it from me, you want to read this book.
You should read this book because this book is really great.
I read the book Ballet Brown. So there's this girl named Bellen. She does ballet and she usually wears pink, but she doesn't feel comfortable wearing that because it doesn't match her skin tone, because it's only for like white people, so their skin tone shines. So then she starts wearing black and her teacher doesn't accept that. So then she goes to another studio and all the kids look up to her and start wearing the same uniform as her. And the bigger picture is that if you don't feel comfortable doing something and someone doesn't accept that, then you can find other people. You gotta check this book out.
I read You're Enough. It was really, really good and the pictures were awesome.
It's about people who are being different from another person.
This book was written by Sofia Sanchez, a young model and actress with Down syndrome.
And some people make her feel different.
The book talks about how being different can be lonely, but we're all in this together and everyone needs a friend.
Being different is a good thing because everyone can be different. And I have 2 colored eyes, but not everyone has 2 colored eyes.
The message of this book is how to make friends and be brave.
Just because people don't understand you doesn't mean that you shouldn't be happy.
You never want to miss this book.
Stay reading to get smart.
Thanks so much for hanging out with me at the library today. We got to read More Than Peach, followed Kids CEO Bellen Woodard through a whirlwind busy day. We sent out our activism postcards and got a ton of recommendations of books by kid authors. That's all for today, but we've got plenty more adventures and plenty more books to come, so make sure to follow the rainbow. See you next time. I love books.
Don't forget to check out some of the other fun videos on Kidzuko.